Picture this. A father walks into court, furious and determined. His daughter's ex-boyfriend is sitting across from him, cool as a cucumber. Between them, a rusted 2002 truck and a $1,000 debt that's about to tear this whole situation wide open. But here's the twist: by the end of this case, someone's walking away with way more than they bargained for, and someone else is walking away with absolutely nothing. This is the story of Mark Hoover versus James Elkins. And trust me, you won't believe how this plays out. Let me set the scene for you. Mark Hoover is standing in front of Judge Judy, and he's not happy. His daughter Angie recently broke up with her boyfriend James, and now Mark wants his money back. But this isn't your typical breakup drama. Oh no. This case has two completely separate problems tangled together, like a pair of headphones that's been sitting in your pocket for too long. There's a title loan, you know, one of those sketchy loans where you put your car up as collateral. Second, there's this beat-up old truck that Mark inherited from his dead father. Both involve James, both involve money, and both are about to get dissected in the most entertaining way possible. Judge Judy looks at Mark and gets straight to business. No warm-up, no small talk. That's not her style. Let's deal with the second part first. Judge Judy announces, flipping the script on everyone. She's talking about the title loan, and Mark is nodding along, probably thinking he's got this in the bag. Here's what happened. While Angie and James were still together, living under the same roof and playing house, Angie owned a car. The car was in her name, just hers, nobody else's. She decided to take out a title loan on that car. Now, if you don't know what a title loan is, it's basically when you're so desperate for cash that you're willing to risk losing your vehicle. You hand over your car title to a loan company, they give you money, and if you can't pay it back, they take your car. Simple, right? Mark's argument is straightforward. My daughter took out the loan on her car. It's her responsibility. I paid it off for her, and now I want James to pay me back half because they were together when she took it out. Sounds reasonable. Sounds fair. There's just one tiny problem. Judge Judy asks to see the loan papers, and Mark confidently hands them over. She takes one look at them, and suddenly, the whole game changes. His name is the primary name on all of the loan papers, Mark admits, holding up the documents like they're going to help his case. Judge Judy's eyebrows shoot up. That makes a difference. You can almost see the wheels turning in everyone's heads. If James's name is on the loan papers, then this isn't just Angie's problem anymore. This is their problem together. James jumps in, trying to explain. They wouldn't do it unless my name was on it as well. She didn't make enough money, and there it is. The truth bomb. Angie didn't qualify for the loan on her own, so James had to co-sign. That means legally, they both took out that loan. Both of them. Together. Judge Judy doesn't hesitate. I don't care if it was on her car. What did you do with the money? Paid a lot of bills, James says. From living together. Judge Judy presses, yes ma'am. Well, then it's your responsibility to pay for half the loan. Right. The courtroom goes quiet. You could hear a pin drop. Mark's face lights up like a kid on Christmas morning. He thought this part was going to be a fight, but Judge Judy just handed him a win in less than 2 minutes. See how things change so quick? Judge Judy says with a slight smirk. Very good, Mr. Hoover. Mark is thrilled. Thank you. Judge Judy asks the magic question. How much does he owe you for his half of the loan? $1,000. Perfect. And just like that, part 1 is done. $1,000 awarded to Mark Hoover. James is on the hook. No arguments, no debate. The law is clear, and Judge Judy just laid it out in plain English. But hold on. This case isn't over. Not even close. Now we get to the truck. And oh boy, this is where things get messy. Mark inherited a truck from his father, who passed away in March 2013. It's a 2002 model, nothing fancy. Nothing special, just an old truck that's been sitting in a garage, collecting dust and probably a few spider webs. Judge Judy asks the obvious question. How did you wind up with the truck? Mark explains that after his father died, he became the executor of the estate. His dad had 4 kids total, Mark, 2 sisters, and another brother, and they were supposed to split everything equally. But Mark took possession of the truck. His siblings were fine with it, or at least, that's what Mark says. I assume your siblings said it was okay, you could have it. Judge Judy asks. Correct, Mark says, with the understanding that we were gonna divide any proceeds from it equally. Judge Judy catches that. Well, I don't know that. That's hearsay. Yeah, okay. Because there were no proceeds. Correct, because you gave it away. Mark stumbles. Stupidly, I did. Judge Judy actually laughs. Not a mean laugh, but the kind of laugh that says, oh, you just walked right into that one, didn't you? Here's where James's side of the story comes in. According to James, Mark never sold him the truck. Mark just gave it to him, handed over the keys, signed over the title, and said, "Here you go, kid. Have fun." Mark denies this. Absolutely denies it. He insists he sold James the truck for $400 a month, a payment plan. But here's the problem. He has no written agreement, no contract, no text messages setting up the deal, nothing. Judge Judy is skeptical. You agreed to sell him a 12-year-old truck for $400 a month. For $189, he could get a brand new car. No, he couldn't, Mark protests. Yeah, he could get a little tiny car that could get him around. The car was worth $4,000 at the time I sold it. Judge Judy isn't buying it. She's got kids. She's got grandchildren. She knows how families work. She knows that sometimes parents help out their kids' partners, especially when they're young and struggling and trying to figure life out. There's no question in my mind, Judge Judy says, her voice firm and confident, that when the defendant and your daughter were together and you got your hands on this truck, which you didn't pay for, which you took under, your siblings said to you, "You want the truck? Take the truck. He needs the truck. Truck is 12 years old, not worth a hell of a lot anyway." Mark tries to argue. "I think I can convince you otherwise, man." "Go," Judge Judy says, giving him a chance. Mark launches into his explanation. He held onto the truck for a year, couldn't sell it, so he agreed to sell it to James for $400 a month. Then, because he's such a nice guy, he decided to make it easier on them since they were living together. Judge Judy cuts him off. "I read your papers. I read the fairy story that you wrote in the paper." Ouch, calling someone's legal claim a fairy story is about as harsh as it gets in a courtroom. But Mark isn't giving up. He points out that he's only received $275 total from James, $100 on one occasion, and $175 through his daughter. He hasn't given his siblings anything yet because, well, he hasn't gotten paid. "Not yet because I've only received $275, Mark says. "Just a second," Judge Judy interrupts. "When? But they are at home hoping that they're gonna get it today. That's for sure." Judge Judy's response is ice cold. "Well, they're not." Now it's James's turn to tell his side, and his story is completely different. Mark said, "I have this truck. Would you like it?" I said yes, and we just went from there. According to James, Mark offered him the truck around January or February. They couldn't get it out right away because it was buried in snow in the garage. When the snow melted in March, they went and picked it up. Mark signed over the title, James drove it away, and that was that. No money exchanged hands. No payment plan discussed. Just a simple gift from a father-in-law-to-be to his daughter's boyfriend. "Did you ever give Mr. Hoover money for the truck?" Judge Judy asks James. "No, ma'am. Mr. Hoover says you paid him $275 on 2 different occasions." "No, ma'am. One of them is lying. That much is clear, but who?" Mark's daughter Angie steps up. She's got text messages on her phone proof, supposedly, that James agreed he owed money for the truck. Judge Judy examines the messages carefully. Here's what they say. "Angie, are you working?" James, "Yep, what's up?" Angie, "Will you be able to give Dad some more money for the truck this weekend?" James, "Thursday." "Okay, how much do you think?" Then nothing. The conversation cuts off. Later, there's another message about exchanging money, but it's unclear what it's about. Angie explains that James stopped responding the first time because he didn't have the money. Later, they met in person, and he gave her $175 in cash, which she then gave to her father. James denies all of it. I don't know what she is even talking about, honestly. When Mark offered me the truck, we never spoke a monetary value. It was just given to me, and then once me and Angie had broken up is when it all started. Judge Judy has heard enough. She's pieced together what really happened, and she's ready to make her ruling. "I don't believe he bought a truck for $400 a month from your father," she tells Angie. "Then why is he driving it?" Angie shoots back, "Because you gave it to him." Boom, case closed. Judge Judy awards Mark $1,000 for the title loan,